boys and girls, it's Mrs. Thompson. Welcome to your first virtual math lesson. The next couple of weeks, you're going to see some math videos from Mrs. Matson and I to help you guys with your online work. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go through some two-dimensional shapes, which should already be a review for you. We did these when we were back at school. So we're going to go through them just to give us a little refresher. So our first one, we have a circle. And then the second one, we have a triangle. A triangle has three sides. That's why the word begins with the sound of try. Then we have a four-sided shape that's square. This is special because all the sides are the same length. We have a rectangle, which also has four sides, but there's a set of two sides that are longer and a set of two sides that are short in the same length. Another four-sided shape we have is a trapezoid, and this one is special because it has a set of parallel lines that will never intersect. They will always run the same distance apart from each other. We have a rhombus. A lot of kids like to call this a diamond, and when we're being a mathematician, we're going to start using the word rhombus instead of diamond. Now the square, rectangle, trapezoid, and rhombus have a special name. And it's quadrilateral. And we have a picture of our trapezoid, our square, our rhombus. And if you see, I have a blue rhombus and then I have another rhombus. They're both rhombus, it's just this one is a little bit skinnier. And then we have a rectangle. And I want you to notice that this rectangle is going up and down. And if you look back up here, this one's tilted a little bit. If you take a shape and you move the orientation, if you change the way it's pointing, it's still the same shape. Up here we have a pentagon. Penta means five. It has five sides. And then we have hexagon. It's like our stop signs. It has six sides. So hopefully this was a review for us, but we're going to use these vocab words to learn about polygons today. So we're going to move over here to our polygon chart. And we have a picture of our polygons. And when we look at the different parts of a polygon, we have sides. A side, you can run your finger along the side of the shape and it's always straight. So we have a triangle here. So this polygon has 1, 2, 3 sides. And then we have a vertex. If we're talking about one point where the two sides meet, it's a vertex. If we say that we're looking at the triangle and we see that it has 3 of them, we call it vertices. And we have angles. An angle is the rotation or the turn in between two line segments or two sides of the shape. So this triangle has 3 angles. And if you look over here on my anchor chart, we're going to go through and talk about what is a polygon and what is not a polygon. So if we look up here, we say that we have a flat two-dimensional shape. So over here, I'm going to draw you guys some examples. So if we're looking at a polygon, if I draw a square, 4 equal sides, this is a polygon. It's two-dimensional. It's flat. You can draw it on your paper. You cannot touch it. Another thing is that it only has straight sides. So if I look at a triangle, all my sides are nice and straight. Straight sides. It's two-dimensional and has straight sides. We're saying that it must have at least 3 sides. So if I'm looking at my shape of a trapezoid has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. A polygon has to have 3 or more sides. So this is a polygon, 3 or more sides. We're going to look over here again, and it says that it must be a closed shape. All of the sides must touch. So if I look at a rectangle, there's no openings in my shape. It is closed. And the last point we want to talk about is that line segments meet only at endpoints. So I'm going to draw you a star. It's going to take me a second here, but I want you to notice that my sides only meet at endpoints. So on this star, I have endpoints all the way around the outside, and then I also have endpoints in the inside where the line segments meet. To review one more time, polygons are 2D shapes, two-dimensional, they're flat, their sides are straight, they have 3 or more sides, the shape is closed, and the line segments meet at the endpoints. Now what things can we look at and notice that it is not a polygon? So we said that a polygon was two-dimensional. If we were to talk about a cube is three-dimensional. It's something I could pick up and hold. It's not flat on the paper. I could hold it, so it is 3D. It's three-dimensional. Also, the sides, we said that a polygon has straight sides. It is not a polygon if it has curved sides. So if you look at a cloud or a speech bubble, the sides are curved. They are not straight. And then we said in the beginning, one of our two-dimensional shapes that we already learned about was a circle. A circle doesn't have any sides. And we said a polygon has to have 3 or more sides. So this has less than 3 sides. So it is not a polygon. And we also said that a polygon is closed. So it is not a polygon if the figure is open. So you guys all know my dog Bauer. If you were to put Bauer in my backyard, I wouldn't want to have a fence that's open where he could get out. So when you're drawing your polygons, make sure they're closed. So if we look at this shape, if I were to put Bauer in there, he could escape through this hole right here. So this is not a polygon because it is open. We do not want open shapes when we're talking about polygons. And the last thing is, it is not a polygon if the lines intersect. Intersect means that they cross each other. So if I were to use my example of a star again, if I draw my star this way, my lines are intersecting. That means that they're crossing over each other. If lines are crossing, then it is not a polygon. So I want you to remember these ideas when you're doing your work this week. You're going to do 2 different assignments for me. The first one, you're going to get to build some shapes. Now, if we were at school, we would be using straws and twist ties, but I don't think everyone has a lot of twist ties at home. So you're going to have to be a little creative. So Mrs. Thompson's got some Play-Doh that I made little balls, and I have some straws. You can use toothpicks and marshmallows. You can use pretzels and Play-Doh. Maybe you have clay at home. Whatever you can find to be creative. But I would love to see you build some polygons and take a picture with Mom and Dad and send it to me on Twitter, email, or put it in our Google Classroom. So what you're going to do is you're going to use straight things for your sides because we said a polygon has straight sides. And you're going to build different shapes or different polygons. So if I have 3 endpoints, my Play-Doh is being my endpoints and my straws are being my sides, I made a 3-sided shape, a 3-sided polygon, and it's a triangle. If I want to extend it, I can add another side and another endpoint, and it would become a square. And if I kind of pushed it, one second. If you have a square and you push it a little bit and put it kind of on a diagonal, it will change into goes from a square, it's not gonna work for me. But if you go from a square, you can go to a rhombus, and you can make a skinny rhombus, you can make a plump rhombus. I want you to play around with it a little bit, and I want you to send me some pictures. After you build some polygons, I have put in the Google Classroom a cut and paste activity. There's going to be one side where it's polygons and one side where it's 3D shapes. And I have listed many pictures of shapes for you. Your job is to cut them out and decide if they are 2-dimensional or if they're 3-dimensional, if they're a polygon or no polygon. So take a quick look at our pictures here. Take a little picture in your brain so this can help you when you're doing your assignments. And I can't wait to see your work. I'll see you soon.